Okay, it's record. So, anyways, it's me here, Christian Eric Meyer. It's June 7th, June 7th, 2025. Just here. So this was from yesterday. You can see how I blew my nose right there, and it's clear. And there was some green snot, like you can see where I blew my nose right there. It's green. That's rape compound. So there's the proof right there. They try to think that I have green mucus, which I don't. I'm gonna try to blow my nose right now, and I'm just gonna film. I do have a So you can see me blow my nose, and then you can see it's clear. What human doesn't have green mucus? After mucus, the Canadian government's lying about my evolved human biology. Yesterday on June 6th, I got it about 3-4 days ago, like in the shower. They hacked my skin to open up a sore and to try to give me cancer basically in my leg. I feel it in my groin, and but I'm not going to get medical treatment because they tried to give me gangrene before and it went away. It goes away. My problems go away because they stop hacking. And once I forgot, like right there, I didn't have this yesterday. But watch this. Nobody on the planet can control their cheek muscles. Try to move right here. Try to move your cheek muscles without moving your mouth like that. So I have to move my mouth now. So that's how I have to do it. But watch. So I'm gonna try to getting the total residual volume out of people. So once again, my mouth wasn't moving, and then you could see it was after I finished communicating. So you can't, without your biology being hacked with computers, you can't make these muscles move right here, those micro expressions. I can't anyways. I can make my eyebrows go up and down, but I can't make my cheek muscles move. Yeah, it takes technology to do it. So anyways, so it's technology to do it. So once again, I'm going to disconnect the total residual volume, and you're going to see that this vein pops out because that's human hijackers. Like, I'll just show you. I'm just going to pause, but Stephanie Meyer, I Google search my name. My name's Christian Eric Arnie Meyer, Meyer. Disconnecting people to get the total residual volume out of them. Right, and so watch my eyes, and now this is my aura. This is my natural aura, and you see how my eyes go like this. And now watch when I get people to look at my chin. I'm going to show them the real hell, evil people. Right. Oh, so there we go. They're figuring it. The more I pose it, so you can see how I ended up getting wrinkles on film, right there when I did that, because I disconnected and I killed human hijackers with my mind. Did I just kill human hijackers with my mind? More than 50,000 on my face would drop. So my eyebrows dropped. So it was less. Some more than 10,000 on my face. My cheek muscles would drop. So my cheek muscles did drop. So once again, when I go like that, it happens. But I'll just show you that Stephanie Meyer, with the same spelling as my name, she wrote a book about parasitic aliens. And I'm talking about parasitic humans now, 10 years later. So first of all, it says schizophrenia usually begins in the late teens to early 20s for men. I'm a male. They diagnosed me with schizophrenia after I posted a video August 21st, 2019. I was 2019, so I was 42, almost 42 at the time, 41 years old at the time when they said I got schizophrenia. Bullshit. They manufacture it. So basically, people are able to be parasitic based on the piezoelectric effect of absorbent energy harvesting, stealing energy from another human, basically. Physical capabilities. So I'll just show you here. Here's a black version of me, a king. Here's an Asian version of me, a king. Here's Christian, the 10th, a Danish king that looks like me. Here's a Roman emperor, Hadrian. He built Hadrian's Wall that looks like me. Antonius Prius looks like me. I'm related to a lot of Roman emperors. I think this guy's name is Masashi Yamamoto or something like that, but he looks like me, a famous Japanese samurai. And this is using frequencies. They're able to use it as a weapon. And right here, this gun, they're able to implant thoughts with that gun. And here's a German emperor that looks like my grandfather. And okay, I'm just gonna be trying to find the parasitic thing. But here's my DNA map. It covers except for the white area, it covers the entire world. So I have African, Asian, European, North and South America, and Oceanic DNA. That's why I look like kings. That's why I look like Emperor Meiji. I'll show you a different picture that look like Edward VIII. He looks like my twin. He's the last true king. I have unique pectoral muscles. And if you can see this, I did this in front of my son. That scar looks like a 25. It didn't always look like a 25. It also looks like a scarred spider. And I changed it in front of my son. I unhacked how they were hacking the scar. And this is how wrinkled the Canadian government chemically mutilates me. That was my face in January. And I recovered 2 days later. But I'm in the hospital now, so I've recovered. So I'm not smoking. Okay, so where is it? I'll have to do a new Google search. So anyways, high treason is 25 years in prison for violating myself, the true king. And Cheap Trick wrote a song about the Dream Place in 1979, how they violate people. So just go here to the proof. Must be the proof. So here's me at 19, and here's Prince Philip at 19. So I look more like Prince Philip than his son does. Here's Nicholas II. There's me. He's a former Russian Tsar. There's Emperor Meiji, who looks like me. Here's George VI, that looks like me. This African queen looks like my sister. Here's my dad, who looks like Mark Anthony. Here's the subliminal system that the Canadian government uses to register people and profile them. This was in my ashtray. I have another one that was in my ashtray. And this is a royal invitation that my family went to. And you can see where it says princess right there. This was in the 1800s. 1894, I believe. And Campbell right there. So when I Google searched, on the back it said Colin Campbell. When I Google searched it, it showed this man, Field Marshal Colin Campbell. He looks like my mother's brother. He looks like me, and he looks like my dad. And his birthday was October 20th. My birthday's October 20th. He died August 14th. My first cousin was born. My mother's son, Justin, was born August 14th. And my mother died August 13th. They murdered her. And this is Augusta Victoria. And she looks just like my daughter. This was Queen Victoria's oldest daughter. And she was a German empress. And her husband looks like my father. This looks identical to my father, a twin. Once again, Edward VIII looks identical to me when I was younger. And here is what a typical male, like this guy's in really good shape, but this is what a male back muscle would look like. This is what my back muscle looks like, and you can see it's completely different. I have a V. So the doctor yesterday, he pretended to see me without assessing me because I was going to get him to, I'll just show you right now. Once again, I'll show you right here. Well, you can watch my voice. You watch my mouth. This is me adjusting the testosterone in my brain, and this is me adjusting the estrogen in my brain. You can see how my mouth doesn't really open lots, but now I'm going to try to change my actual voice, and you're going to see when I change in my voice box, which I was going to get the doctor to feel my voice box, and he would have felt the reverberations in my voice box. So now you can see how much I have to move my voice, my mouth, to be able to change the voice, the sound in my voice box. So once again, for me to adjust the chemicals in my brain, I don't have to do that at all. Right, so they're not giving me a positron emission tomography test. So in the Freedom of Information Act, I'm going to be able to subpoena the video footage of the surveillance in the hallways at the mental health unit at the Sioux Area Hospital. And it's going to show that me and the doctor were never in the same area of the hospital at the same time. And the nurse assessed me the day before, and the doctor said that he assessed me, and he wrote a prescription because I was going to get him to feel my voice box as I changed the chemicals in my, improve it to him. right? Because the Canadian government's not giving me an x-ray to prove it. Like I just showed you how I have clear mucus and how they put green specks in my mucus. Like once again, yeah, like right there, those little specks. This one from yesterday had green specks. Like right there and right there was a green speck, but they had nanotechnology dissolve. This looked like a butterfly because I mentioned the butterfly effect the day before, proving that I could predict the future. Because that's why the government keeps me poor, because they know I can predict the future. You can see how I don't have a scar here on my cheek. Let's see if I can make it show up, because sometimes they do make it come back. But I'll show you how pictures of a scar that disappeared while I was in the hospital. And my wrinkles disappeared since I've been in the hospital. So here is, you can see the scar right there. You can see a chunk of skin missing in my face. And here, there's no chunk. I'll show you right here. It was just a little scar, but you can see right there, I have a scar chunk missing out of my face. And that was from picking a pimple when I was 45. Because when I start rejuvenating, I get acne. And I'll just show you what I looked like before I got hospitalized on May 4th. Well, I got hospitalized on May 5th, so I'll show you on May 4th. So when I first got hospitalized, they said it was somebody from the community, the doctor, and then a family member. They couldn't get their story straight. My sister wrote a letter to the doctor on May 9th, 4 days after I was hospitalized. So you'll see here, this was May 2nd. So I kind of rejuvenated here, but you can see how I had more wrinkles under my eyes because I was smoking more. And I had more wrinkles under my eyes than I do now because I'm not smoking. Right now they restrict me from being able to smoke. And then this is me. I slept in an ATM booth, and you can see them. They gassed me in the ATM booth. So you can see how puffy my eye was there. And they gave me a wrinkle right there that disappears when I get fresh air. That's why they're giving me an open sore on my foot to be able to try to cause pain. And but once I get fresh air, that's why I spend most of my time outside, because when I get fresh air, I rejuvenate and I lose wrinkles. Like right here, you can see how young my skin looks, and it's going to be late at night because I got fresh air. So 9:11 p.m. May 4th. So I'll just show you earlier on that day. So this is probably the same day. So right here, this is the same day probably. So May 4th at 5:34 p.m. And you can see how I have lots of wrinkles right there. And right there. And let's see if I can find one earlier that day on May 4th. I might not be able to. So let's do this random one right here. May 4th at 1 p.m. So I'm going to try. I would have woken up earlier than that. So right here. Let's see, this is probably earlier, May 4th. So May 4th at 6:12 a.m. So once again, you can see how wrinkled, how puffy my skin is there because they forced me to sleep in an ATM booth, and how wrinkled my forehead was right there. And since I've been at the hospital, they gave me a wrinkle right here that I don't really have. I'll show you right now. So this normally goes away, but they gave me a wrinkle right there, that brow wrinkle. This right there, they gave me a wrinkle. Because when I first left the hospital in 2020, I'd sleep on one side of my face. So right where that crease was, right there, I'd have a wrinkle on that side of my face, but not on the other side of my face. You know, and then so what they would do after that, they started to hack me to make me sleep on the other side, to give me wrinkles on both sides of my head, because it looked suspicious. I only got wrinkles in my sleep. You know, and somebody yesterday, one of the patients that were formerly here, they knew about my last name. I didn't tell anybody my last name. And she called, and she said that my doctor that assessed me, because I've been assessed by two Canadian doctors, one in 2017 and one in 2019. And both times I was released after 72, after a short period of time without any medication. And then an African trained doctor, he well, first of all, he relied on my brother's. My brother said that I threw him down a garbage dumpster, and so this was when we lived in Scarborough, Ontario, and we moved 2 weeks before my 13th birthday. So that was 1989 when we moved, and well, I guess it would be 1990. It would have been 1990, like 2 weeks before, because I was born in '77, so I would have been turning 13 October 20th, 1977. And so 2 weeks before October 6th, we moved up to LA Lake. So when I was 12, this story would have happened. So it would have taken 30 years. They waited 30 years to say that I exhibited psychotic tendencies to try to justify medicating me. Imagine that, the Canadian government. You could get somebody I've been in the hospital for over a month based on hearsay. They used social media posts from a different year. Like, I posted this joke saying mentalist, maybe not. I was at a crosswalk. I was walking by and I'm like, watch this, I could stop the cars with my hand, or I could stop the cars with my mind. And I went like that. If you get basically a stop sign signal, right, obviously the car's going to stop. And so the doctor's like, well, he thinks he could stop the cars, but then they won't hit him. And it's like, the guy's a fucking idiot. Right. And it's funny because when you speak with him right now, if I spoke with him, he'd be like, Christian. But then, like, for any type of official thing, is like, Christian, I don't know what my doctor used to say to me. Right. And he speaks with this fucking thick accent, right, whenever there's official things going on. But when I converse with him normally, I can understand him perfectly. But during the hearings, you can't understand the guy. You need subtitles. Right. So that's part of his con. Right. And so anyways, so they said I exhibited psychotic tendencies based on when I was 12 years old. And once again, I wasn't medicated until 2020. And when I was 42 years old. So they waited 30 years to say, okay, well, he exhibited psychotic tendencies. And then I showed you how schizophrenia is from your late teens to early 20s. So once again, they waited 20 years later after most people get schizophrenia to say that I was schizophrenic. And then he says that I'm bipolar. I posted one of my YouTube channels, there's 577 videos. And then, so I must have over 1,000 videos. And none of my videos, like, bipolar means you're really high and really low. Like, yeah, my life is so fucking awesome. Yeah. And then your next video is like, oh my God, my life sucks, right? None of these videos, I've never exhibited any bipolar characteristics whatsoever. So I can't wait to get out of the hospital because, right now, like, I went to, I tried to make it so I couldn't get medicated. So I went to 2 hearings and they didn't let me show any proof. I sent the lawyer and the CCB hearing, I sent them evidence of them tapering my penis. If you look at the picture, it shows a scar, like that, a scar, a straight scar, the entire length of my penis. They tapered it. Like, they reduced the girth of my penis at the tip and at the base of my penis. They don't do that for circumcision. Circumcision is they take a little bit of hair off, like skin off the tip of your penis, so your penis comes out. They don't augment your penis, but they knew I had evolved biology. They knew that. So they have a special, like Canada has a profiling system. They know every single surface that you step on, but they never know where my biology is. Strange enough. How many, do I, Christian, the guy in front of this camera here, do I unregister naturally more than 1 million times a day? My face will drop. Does the Canadian government, do they put rape compound in my food, and did they keep me in seclusion for 10 days and splice different times in different days and pretend it's a different year to justify rape in my human experience? My face will drop. Right? They know I have evolved biology. I sought asylum. I could show you proof. I sought asylum in 2019, and Canada lost almost, I think it was 88 billion. So to show you, so here's some of the technology that they have, right? So they have tooth and enamel sensors. They have the sensors that they could put in eye camera, contact lens cameras. Nowadays it's nanotechnology. This is all technology, and they can administer medication remotely. And there's a patent there, the US 9186071B2, the band 100. Right here, they could put sensors in your body to see what your glucose is doing, your vision, That's nanotechnology eye cameras. See what your hearing's doing, your blood pressure, toxins, and it could all be controlled over the internet and a cell phone. If you look at the cell phone, it's an old cell phone because they're able to violate your human experience. And so here's Ludwig. He looks like my, once again, he looks like Colin Campbell, and he looks like my mom's brother, and his wife looks like my mom's sister. So let's see. So the Charter of Right, it talks about freedom of thought specifically, and here's proof that computer-assisted telepathy YouTube, if you Google search it, it comes up with these videos. So it proves that with technology, they can listen to your thoughts, but they pretend schizophrenia isn't man-made. So they're denying technology. And George Orwell wrote a book about in 1984 about the thought police. You see right here, the thought police right there, that 1984, the thought police. So they've been able to listen to your thoughts for a very long time. And so I'll just show you this. So I was born in 1977, and so I have evolved human biology. So in 1976, Canada was 27th in medal standings. They boycotted in 1980. So when I was 7 years old, they were 6th in medal standings because of my biology. Connor McDavid, so here we go. So in 2019, Canada's economy was worth $1.743 trillion, and then 2020, it was worth $1.655 trillion. Right, so they lost $92 billion because I sought asylum. They're going to lose more. They lost more now because I'm hospitalized. So if you're to look at there's a weather machine. There's proof if you go to Chris Meyer Diggins on YouTube, and if you look at some of the older videos, and you look where you see this one building, if you see a building in it with a grid system, it shows that I could control the weather with my brain because of cloud seeding and quantum computing. There's proof. I put a grid on the system where it's like here, 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 here. And then I'm like, watch, as soon as I point at the cloud, you see the cloud stop. You see the cloud slow, well, you see it slow down. Anyways. But in Toronto, I was able to do a vortices. Like I was able to cause, I could have caused a tornado, but I didn't because I just wanted to see if I could, right? Should I need to in times of war, right? So in the future, once I'm released from the hospital, on a clear day when it's cloudy, I'm going to post another video, and you'll see me start a cyclone. And you'll see the clouds make one rotation. I'm not going to cause a tornado, but you'll see it make one rotation, and then on film, I'm going to film it. Quantum computing, this one man's DNA, they know this. And so getting those people that are pretending to be me, getting the total residual volume out of them, watch my cheeks drop when I say this, when I connect them. That's when I connected people to me, I tuned them in, and I killed those human perpetrators, these people that violate my human experience.